In this episode of Home Theater Geeks, I answer a question from a listener who wants to know what center speaker to buy. Stick around.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, the Home Theater Geek. In this episode, I answer a question from listener Zorawar Mann, who writes, I've heard so many of your videos, and I'm impressed by the clarity of thought that you bring to a person like me to build a home theater. Thank you, Zorawar. I really appreciate that. I am not an expert, nor do I have extra dollars to spend. But in the course of time, I have managed to put together a small setup that suffices for my needs. I am currently missing a center channel speaker and need your advice on what to buy. I have put together a few photos along with some requirements and considerations. I would really appreciate your help to put something together. Thanks for the question, Zorawar. I really appreciate you sending that along, and you sending along some notes and some photographs of your system, which will help me help you. So in your current configuration, you have a Denon AVR X1300 AV receiver. You have a pair of Yamo S606 floor standing speakers, which are biamped, interestingly enough, and set to small with an 80 hertz crossover. You also have a pair of B&W 606 S3 bookshelf speakers, also set to small with an 80 hertz crossover, and a Polk HTS 12 subwoofer. So you need to add a center channel speaker, and you're looking at the B&W HTM6 S3 only because it matches the current speakers and based on my recommendation that they should sound alike, and that's really, really important. You're also looking at the SVS Prime Center and the Polk R300 or R400 because the reviews are good. Now, here are some considerations you want me to take into mind, and I appreciate that. 90% of the time, you're listening to music. Okay, that's good to know. And the music can range from Hans Zimmer to soulful jazz to electronic, hip-hop, even Indian music, which I love, by the way. And the dialogue quality is lacking in movies. This is a big problem, and it needs to be fixed. Couldn't agree more. You do movie nights with friends occasionally, and you constantly have to keep adjusting the TV volume for dialogue. I hate when that happens, and I'm going to try and help you with that. High volume is not a priority. Glad to hear that. I actually never put anything on super high volume. Good. Now, you say it can't be a permanent setup as we have, you say we have a moving job. I'm not sure if that means you're about to move or you move regularly as part of your job, but that doesn't sound too good. And interestingly, and kind of paradoxically from that last point, you're also considering a pair of ceiling firing speakers or height speakers. You want the speakers that will give you Atmos overhead sound by bouncing off the ceiling. Okay, well, then let's take a look at all of that. In fact, let's start by taking a look at the photos you sent because those will be very instructive. So here's your living room with your system. You have a nice flat ceiling, so that'll work. You've got the speaker situation in the front's a bit odd. Let's take another look. Let's take a look at the next photo. So I see you have 4 speakers in front, the 2 pairs of Yamos on the outside and the 2 pairs of B&Ws closer in. Let's take a look at the next one. Here we can see a straight on shot. And finally, the last one, where you label them. This is very good. Thank you very much for that. So the Yamos are on the outside. The B&W bookshelves are closer to the TV. They're sitting on a credenza, and the Denon AV receiver is right there in the credenza below the TV. Okay, well, you say you have the Yamos biamped. That means from this Denon that they are acting as the front, right, and left speakers. And they're very far away from the screen. So I'm a little concerned about that. More concerning is that the B&Ws must then be connected to the surround channels of the AVR. And so you've got the front, left, and right way too far apart. And you've got the surround channels also in the front, closer to the screen. This is what I would call suboptimal, to say the least. For one thing, the front speakers, the front left and right speakers, should be near the TV. At first, I thought the B&Ws were your front, right, and left, but it turns out they're not. The surround speakers, of course, should be to the sides and slightly behind the listening position. Their current positions, these B&Ws, will not give you any sort of surround sound field. So the immersion quality of your system is very low. You need to put the surround speakers where they need to be, which is slightly behind and to the sides of the listening position. As you can see in this photo here, you have end tables where I would put the speakers. Your wife said you couldn't run cables, and that's common and a problem, I'm sorry to say, but that's where they need to be. If you can't install in-ceiling speakers, I would find some smaller surround speakers and put them on stands on those end tables there. It'd be a little too close. I would like them a little further away, but you are in an open environment here, so that would probably be my best recommendation. And try to convince your wife that a couple of wires running from the front of the room under the couches to those speakers is really going to be, an ideal situation, or far better than what you've got now. And so that's what I would do with that. I wish you could put in ceiling surround speakers. That would be great. But if you're likely to move and can't take them with you, then that's not practical. If you have AC outlets near the couch, I might suggest wireless surrounds. But most of the wireless surrounds on the market are designed to work with specific sound bars and systems, and are not just generic, can be used with anything. Those specific ones come from companies like Sony, Samsung, and so on. The Denon AVR is an older model and probably can't connect to wireless surrounds directly. So you said you might be upgrading to an X1800 Denon, and that might help you there. You could get a pair of Denon speakers that use the Denon wireless system called HEOS, H-E-O-S, and that might be able to give you wireless surround speakers, but you still have to plug them into to power, because they have amplifiers and they need power. There may be some wireless surrounds that are generic that plug into the outputs of the AV receiver and have a transmitter, a wireless transmitter. I don't know of any specifically, and I would doubt they would be of very high quality. So that's unfortunate. My bottom line here in this regard is it's critically important for you to have surround speakers where they're supposed to be. And so however you can do that, I would. I don't see you being able to use the Yamos as the surround speakers. They're floor standers, so they're big. And if you put them where those end tables are, they'll either be really tall, or if you replace the end tables with them, the couches will absorb a lot of the sound coming from them, since they're floor standers and they've got drivers fairly low as well as up high. So I wouldn't use them for that. I would find smaller surround speakers, put them on little stands on those end tables, and hopefully convince your wife that a couple of cables running along the floor, maybe put little area rugs where they go so that nobody trips over them. That's important. That's going to give you a far better experience than what you currently have. So now to the question about your center speaker. You are correct that the center speaker, it's really important for it to have a similar tonal balance to the front, left, and right. And if you're going to use the B&Ws as your front, left, and right, which I recommend because you can place them closer to the screen than you can the Yamos, I would definitely go with your thought of getting the B&W HTM6 S3. It'd be the only choice, in my opinion. Now, it's pretty tall, that center speaker. It lies on its side, but it's not super thin. And as a result, you would need to raise that TV up a little bit. Now, I would do it as little as possible because it's already as high as I would want to put it, and you're going to want to put it a little higher. Otherwise, that center speaker is going to block some of the screen, and you don't want that. So you're going to have to raise that TV up a little bit, maybe put little, not bricks, but something that resembles a brick. Yoga blocks come to mind under the feet of the TV so that it raises up a few inches and misses the center speaker. It can sit below the screen. That's critically important as well. But I would go as little of that as possible because you're already at a nice height. Tell you the truth, I would use the Yamos in another system. Maybe a 2-channel audio system. As floor standers, they won't fit next to the TV in your current situation with the current furniture. So I would use them in another system for 2-channel music, maybe in another room. But I wouldn't use them as front, left, and right in your current configuration. Now, what about upfiring? Well, there are many companies that make upfiring speakers for Atmos. And you said that in your notes, you said that you were thinking maybe of the Polk XT90 placed on top of the current speakers, but the reviews you've read say they're not the best investment to make. I haven't read those reviews. I'd have to go back and look at them. I will tell you this. There are many companies that make those upfiring speakers. SVS comes to mind. They make a pair. ELAC also makes a pair that I think are very good. I would do some research on those, and I believe you'll find some that will work. More important to me, though, is to get your surround sound field straightened out and to get a center channel, because then you will not have the dialogue intelligibility problems that you currently have. Now, as far as having to raise and lower the volume all the time, there is a function in the Denon X1300 using the Odyssey room correction system. It's called dynamic volume. And if you set that to on, it's currently off by default, you can set it to low, medium, or high. And so choose the one that gives you the best result. And what it will do is it will narrow the dynamic range of the audio, which is what you need to do in order to keep from having to change the volume all the time. So that's what I would do in that regard. So, actually, from one question to several, and I hope that I have helped you out. If you have a question for me, send it on along to htg@twit.tv, and I'll answer as many as I can right here on the show. And if you have a home theater you're proud of, send me some pics. I'd love to take a look and maybe even feature it on the show. Until next time, geek out.